All right. Hey everyone, this is Raw Matt. I'm actually traveling right now and I'm on the road. I just left Florida and I'm now in New Orleans. This is my hotel room, and I actually got a pretty neat view. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just inside. I went out last night and it's actually pretty filthy, disgusting little town. I don't like it at all. So my family's out just doing their own thing. I'm just gonna sit inside this time. Thought I would make a video on eternal life. Haven't really done one, and since I'm part of the Eternal Life fan club, I thought it's about time I start doing some videos. So I have some interesting topics I would like to go over with you today, and hope that it maybe throws some curveballs into your mind, makes you think a little bit more and a little bit differently about some of the topics on eternal life and why I think there needs to be a shift. Now, I'm always talking about dietary health and nutrition, and Rowan has always gone into more of the psychological aspects of it. Now, that's a very important aspect, and the reason that I don't touch on those topics myself is because they're very hard for people to change. It's where dietary habits can be altered and you can start to climb up the rung of the ladder at your own pace, and those things can be done. But if I'm really going to be influencing you to change aspects of your mind and how you perceive the world and the actions that you're going to take while you're alive, well, I find that to be a little bit harder to do. Not impossible, just not my forte. I don't really do that. So this video is going to be like that though. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope that you learn something new, because that's what I'm all about. Knowledge is king, my friends. Grow it. People seem to be treating life like it's some kind of a game. Like somehow if you were just born, then I guess you're one of the lucky ones. And now that means that it's time to party down because your time is limited. It's a dangerous philosophy that is spread over the entire earth. But why? Two reasons, I think. The first one is that people don't believe there is any repercussions to their actions, no consequence, so you can do whatever you want. And also, number two, is thus far, everyone has failed at living forever. When it comes to eternal life, there has been no one who succeeded yet, that we know of. And because life does have an end, people would rather just feel as good as they can by any means necessary while they are alive. And I am okay with people having fun, but there are many forms of fun, and I want to go over some of them with you now so that you can identify even between the good and bad forms. Now first, what is fun when you talk to other people? It usually comes down to drinking and partying and drugs, women or gambling, betting on things, fighting, flings, strip clubs. Now, what about my forms of fun? I mean, I really enjoy going to the beaches, swimming in the oceans. I like to go on hikes. I like searching for caves and rock climbing. I like stargazing. I like comedies. I like sports, going to movies. Festivals like Renaissance festivals are fun to me. I go to Comic-Con each year. I like weight training. I mean, there's so many things that I like that list far exceeds what I hear other people mention for fun. Now, I really think that their idea of fun may be a little bit altered because they're very busy during the week, constantly working to pay their bills, and their window of having fun is very limited to their weekend. So they cram everything in. So they really go for the hardcore styles of fun to them. I don't really do that. So if your version of fun falls into that first category, then we can greatly increase our odds of not living forever. Now let's go over each one, shall we? Because, I mean, I can't just say something like that and move on. Well, we all know that drinking and driving is obviously notorious for getting harmed, but it doesn't even have to be you that's drinking and driving. You can be hit by a drunk person. That's a possibility as well. Not to mention what the damage done to your liver is from drinking. Alcohol is very, very damaging for that. And the liver, like your skin, are one of the most important organs of the body when it comes to longevity. Why you would ever want to hinder its function is beyond me. What about parties? Overdoses, notorious for happening. Now, that doesn't happen to everybody at a party, obviously, so we're going to move on to how about diseases. You can be sleeping with somebody at that party that you met. You can get diseases from sharing needles. You can have tainted drugs that somebody gave you and you didn't know what you were taking. You can even have some chemical effects of these drugs like ecstasy, which are made from chemicals rather than natural elements. There could be a fight over somebody else in that bar. Like, let's say that you're at a party and somebody gets very jealous. They hit you in the head when you're not even looking. You can get a concussion. You can fall and hit your head. You can even die. You can even pass out from drinking too much and fall and hit your head. Then there's gambling. Lots of people cannot quit. Matter of fact, they lose everything and then they'll even suicide out because of everything that they've lost in life. They feel that they'll never get back to that level again. Plus, the atmosphere inside of that very environment is harmful. It's full of smoke and debris, all shortening your life. You can gamble on anything too. You can place bets on dog fights and cockfights. You can gamble on cards. You can go to sporting events, horse races. It doesn't have to just be one thing. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to play. You could piss somebody off by beating them. So let's say that you do win the bet and everything does go your way. That person might not even have the ability to pay you, and getting rid of you might be the best possibility for them to not go in the hole. They can kill you for that. That's happened before a lot. There's so many possibilities that exist. My personal favorite would be fighting. I love it. I love the adrenaline that comes from cage fighting. I love the training that comes from it. But my body is riddled with injuries from it, and I'm blocked out. I've only had a few concussions. I've deviated the septum, so my breathing is a little bit impaired, and I've luckily recovered from a lot of these injuries. And who knows what the ones that I haven't completely recovered from, because I'm still in my youth and I'm still regenerating from some of those injuries that I feel to this day. Then we'll have, how about strip clubs? They're smoke-filled, dark environment rooms full of women who want nothing to do with you other than rub your crotch for cash. It's just lies from the entry to the exit, all the while breathing bad air, drinking, while lust filling your mind. It's just a bad atmosphere. I'm not a fan. There's so many different things to go over, but I just wanted to go over a simple list of what most people condone as fun and the side effects that come from those styles of fun. Yeah, you can even take the good list, the fun list that I do, and knock that down into saying, well, you can get hurt weight training. Absolutely, but at least you're not surrounded by just continuously bad people and bad air and environments where no one's going to walk up and just hit you in the back of the head. You can kind of moderate where you're going to train if you want to do that. Yeah, you can be on a beach and be hit by a jellyfish if you're in Australia and go down. I mean, there's always a possibility for death, but it's mitigated by choosing things that you would enjoy that can take that risk factor down. Now, if you absolutely enjoy one of those highly risk-taking things on that list, just mitigate how much you do it, and I can guarantee that that's going to extend your life. It's kind of like coming up to a red light. If you run every red light that you come up to, the number and odds are absolutely against you because you're running probably, let's say, 10 a day. But if you plan on just running one a month, that mathematical percentage and odds are now in your favor of you ever being caught by a cop or something actually damaging and happening to you. But if you just do it once a year, now the odds you've just completely put the odds into your favor. So that's what I recommend doing. Now, how can you spot between good forms and bad when it comes to entertainment? Easy. Evil feeds on evil. They keep each other company. When I used to cage fight a lot, the atmosphere contained loud, hard music. You couldn't even feel your heartbeat. People all drinking and screaming and throwing bets on the table. Women wearing nothing, just basically stripping in the rings, depending on where you went. This was Tijuana, of course. So, with advertisements about beer and gun sales and condoms and concerts, it shows you plainly what other things are bad because you are in a bad environment. The people that were fighting and causing trouble in the audience, they were stealing from vendors and hiding their weapons and laughing about how they got it past security. You can identify what is bad by other things that are bad. You just have to know how to look for it. I only bother telling you this so that you can distinguish between the things that are harmful and the things that are not. because we have a very jaded perception in today's society between the things that are fun and considered cool. Don't be influenced by propaganda and what society deems as important. And above everything, may the passion of eternal life flow through your veins.